Well, Anthony Edwards has made an impact on the screen in many award-winning roles. It's what he's doing behind the scenes that is changing lives. As chairman and national spokesperson for the 1 in 6 organization, he is bringing a powerful, true story about abuse to the screen. Take a look at the tricky part.
I was 30 and I was in bed. I was stuck in bed. And suddenly I just scribbled, "What happened when you were 12? Tell the truth." It happens in the gray area. It happens in the tricky area.
And Anthony is here with me now. So good to see you. Thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Nice to see you.
Yeah, you know what? The world is so crazy right now. I don't think a room full of writers could have written up this scenario for an ER episode. So how are you and your family holding up?
Very well. We've lost some people, as so many people have. So there's the real hard reality of it. And then there's also this incredible juxtaposition of being able to slow down and stop and really enjoy this spring. So it's really been blessings and just hardship and just, having been in that ER world for so many years, to know how hard and how dedicated all the healthcare providers are and how hard they're working, I'm just so impressed.
Yeah, you got to take the positive with the negative with this whole scenario, and which is kind of how I felt when I was watching The Tricky Part. And The Tricky Part was originally a book written by Martin Moran in 2005. It went to the stage for 2 runs. Now it's on the screen. Tell me a little bit about his story and how you got involved.
Well, I got involved because 6 years ago when I came out and started to look at this abuse that had happened to myself, my therapist at the time was a New York sexual abuse therapist who said that he had a client from years ago who, in his process, had written a book and written a one-man show, and they were recreating that. He was redoing it, and I went and saw that very early on in my recovery, and it was tremendously moving because what Marty Moran had done is he had processed something that had happened to him when he was a child, but he didn't start looking at it till his mid-30s, which is really common. Just like myself, something happens when you're a kid and you bury it because there's shame involved, and generally it's a betrayal. You've been betrayed by someone you love, so you, as a child, care for someone who's done something so awful to you. It doesn't compute, and so survival technique is to cover it up. And we know now from all that we've been learning, that's post-traumatic stress. And it manifests in all kinds of self-destructive behaviors.
Before I watched the movie, I thought this is going to be really hard to watch and it's going to be depressing and I've got to get my head in it. But I have to say, it wasn't that for me watching it. It was so many things. It was heartfelt. It was genuine. It was honest. It was unapologetic, but he wasn't seeking sympathy. Right. It took you on this emotional journey that I was really captivated by. And I feel like that's maybe like his delivery of this story is what most people are going to connect and relate to.
It's not about teaching a lesson or scaring people or that. You're just hearing something that actually happened. And as an artist, that's what Marty does. And in the world of recovery, like we deal with in 1 in 6, what that does is it opens up people in a way to go, oh, wait a second, I'm not alone. I have feelings about this as well. Either as a person who's actually a survivor or somebody who's around someone who's a survivor. Really what we're trying to do at 1in6.org is we're breaking the stigma and taking the shame away, and that it's okay. You don't have to go public like I did, but the ability to have a conversation as intimately as you feel when you're witnessing Marty telling his story, that's what we want to share.
Well, switching gears here for a second, I know that you're taking the producing seat on this one, but you're passing the torch a little bit with the acting role with your son. He's got a movie coming out right now. I saw the trailer for this. Wow, it is like haunting, right?
It's very scary. Yeah.
It's really scary. What does it feel like to kind of watch him do this now?
It's great. Bailey's a really lovely actor, and as all parents can relate, they are who they are and they show themselves. And he found acting early on, but then really got serious about it in college. And I used to say he was too smart to be an actor, and then he fell in love with Shakespeare. And I was like, oh, I get it. He's smart enough to be a Shakespearean actor. He's really done a lot. It's a very scary little movie they made called Mom, and it's if you see it, that's not my boy.
Right. He's just a really good actor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me today. What you're doing right now is so important to so many people, and you are changing lives. So thank you.
My pleasure. And I really appreciate the support.